but spawning as the purple Traveler 59 in the bottom left side of Twilight City, it's MasterLeaf.
And spawning on the top right-hand side, as funnily enough, he's the Cyan Blackhand, did not pick Traveler 59 in the opening game. It's going to be Unleashed UA.
And that's kind of the interesting thing I wanted to bring up is, like, MasterLeaf got tons of practice versus Traveler 59 yesterday, or versus Blackhand. That's pretty much all he played against in the last best of 7 was, like, the best Blackhand player. And now he's up against Blackhand again.
I mean, if you think about it, in the top 8, there was only 2 players who majored in Blackhand. That was Technique and Bike Rush, and Tech was gone to Unleashed. Unleashed beat him, mostly with Traveler 59. And in this game here, it's just going to be crazy. Like, I'm not sure why Unleashed did pick Blackhand. I'm probably not expecting him to rush, but I mean, he's completely unpredictable and unorthodox. He's probably going to do something crazy, and Leaf probably won't see it coming.
Yeah, it's a best of 9, and each player has a little bit of room to give. The worst series that we could see would be like a best of 5 all-ins where one player just smashes through, right? But that means that since it's guaranteed 5 games, there's a little bit of wiggle room. One mistake in one game isn't the end of things. This isn't a best of 1, it's not a best of 3. And these players have made it so far, and what is this coming down in Unleashed's base?
It's going to be an Operation Center. Leaf did send a scout around. He's actually going to get in. Unleashed did spend extra money to try to stop those, but 2 buzzers are actually going to get in, and he's going to see the Flame Rush. Very powerful, of course, versus Scrin, but just because you scout it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be able to counter it, especially if Unleashed. I think he's just going to keep pushing a ton of Flame Tanks as well.
Yeah, this could be the strategy where you just go like 6 or 7 Flame Tanks, and I mean, we've seen you do it, Technique, other players as well, Bike Rush, where you just split them off into different corners of the map, and then the kind of strategy depends in part on your multitasking ability and your ability just to attack at multiple angles and control multiple units.
I mean, it looks like Unleashed went for 2 Flame Tanks, and now he's going to go double Operation Cell, so he's going to have a double Flame Reckoner. Oh no, wait, actually, he should be 6. Yeah, he's gonna put the second Blackhand squad in there now. So 2 Flame Tanks is gonna be hard for Leaf to counter. He is chasing 1 down, but of course 1 Seeker Tank will take a long time to kill that, especially if it turns around and shoots at it.
He is delaying the rush, and that is pretty important just in stopping the rush. And well, you need enough units to stop the rush, but one way that you can get extra units out is to delay these units as much as you can. However, on the south side of the map, we're seeing an additional Flame Tank, and MasterLeaf hasn't delayed this one. It was the second one out, but oh, we were talking about this yesterday. Photon Cannon's coming down, and that may be the amount of DPS he needs. Oh, it gets another shot off, yeah.
He's actually lost his Reckoner as well, right in the middle of the map, or to the left side of the blue field. It actually got intercepted, so Leaf intercepted both Flame Tanks with no damage, and he's taken down the Reckoner as well, so that's terrible for Unleashed. I think he's in a pretty tough position at the moment. He's going with bikes, so if he can salvage the Blackhand, he might be okay, but it's going to be a pretty big ask from here.
You think, well, we do see a portal drop. I was going to say, you think we see like early cultists or something coming out from MasterLeaf?
I mean, if he's against a lot of Flame Tanks, cultists are great because it's just instant snipe the Flame Tank. Not only that, you get the Flame Tank and you can just send it back at your base, at the enemy base. It doesn't really matter where it goes. Just send it back on aggressive stance. You know, you don't have to micro at all. But he is going for Disintegrators, so is he going for a Nerve Center? No,
he drops down another portal, yeah. Advanced Articulators is upgrading right now. And yeah, you mentioned the thing about cultists. I don't know if we'll see them. I mean, he does have the stasis chamber, so it's a possibility. But yeah, your opponent paid for those units, and it's like, okay, well, I'm taking no loss no matter what this unit does.
And look at that, he does lose the Reckoner finally, but there's nothing in it. The Blackhand actually taking down both the Spikes, and the Bikes actually helping those Blackhand by killing off the Gunwalkers as well. But, I mean, MasterLeaf is doing this, one of the similar, very powerful strategies he had the other day with all these Disintegrators and things like that. But is Unleashed going to be ready for that? Because he is trying to expand. There's 4 Seeker Tanks coming at his base, and now there's a lot of Disintegrators. He's going to need a lot of Shredders and a lot of Cabals to hold this off.
MasterLeaf back at his home just stopped a like 4 bike attack, but yeah, you talked about the Seeker Tanks coming in. The Shredder turrets do get the sell-off. Of course, Cabals are very powerful versus those lighter vehicles, but the Lightning Spike coming down. This Harvester definitely going down. He might be able to clean up a second one, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, it looks like most of the siege tanks will eventually get cleaned up. The disintegrators are coming in, and this is what Leaf is going to do. He just bypasses the defense, and look at that power plant. He knows that's smart. That's Unleashed only power plant. Without that, he can't actually build or even power shredder turrets. So that's a big problem right there, and he's in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, the follow-up is just more disintegrators. They're sort of parade pushing across the map, and these secret tanks are still here. The buggies have been trying to deal with the other threat, and as a result, more of these harvesters are taking damage. One is dangerously close to getting taken out. No. It goes down. That was full of Tiberium.
That probably wasn't necessary to lose that harvester from Unleashed. He probably could have pulled it off the line a lot sooner, but now MasterLeaf is just streaming disintegrators across the map. And Unleashed, he's got to hold this, but at the same time, he's got to get an expansion up. MasterLeaf is actually fast tech now. What is he doing?
Is he going... Oh, is he going Prodigy? He doesn't have anything building just yet. He could also be going mechas. It's a possibility.
I mean, he sold off his warp sphere for this attack, so... Yeah. Unless he puts one down, like, I can't see him going for a hex pod. I don't think he has enough money to actually finish a hex pod off now. It's going to be a warp sphere, so we're probably going to see mechas, and Unleashed is going to, I mean... At this point in the game, really the only thing he can do is to try to go for an imp spam of some kind.
Yeah, so that flame tank rush not really paying off. He killed the 2 spikes. Again, nice, but when you're killing... I mean, MasterLeaf killed 2 harvesters full of Tiberium. Definitely disrupted his expansion timing, which... I mean, it was a pretty solid expansion timing pretty early, but it's definitely super delayed at this point. 1 harvester full of blue Tiberium in the middle of the map will be going down to this bike from Unleashed. It goes down right there.
Oh, geez, I didn't see that. Far out. Just that one bike killed it off. I was looking at the other harvester. There's actually another harvester on the blue field now.
There was that black hand squad that killed the Tib tower, the Tib spike, was actually flaming down that harvester while it was harvesting, which is a bit of a misclick or a miscontrol there by MasterLeaf. He could have definitely saved that harvester. And I mean, he may not have gotten a full load of blue Tiberium, but some is better than none, and currently that's what he's got. Disintegrator is going to be pretty much assaulting this MCV. He could be going for the power plants as well, but it looks like Unleashed is going to be selling some of them off. He does need those Cabal squads. Curious placement of that Shredder turret as the Disintegrators can easily escape.
Yeah, with this one here, it's just Unleashed just trying to hold off. He needs to get a refinery down right now, and Leaf really pushed the limits of his build because he just burned all of his Tib to do this, so he doesn't actually have a ref down either. So if Unleashed can hold these mechas, it could reset the game. And he gets one straight away. Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice move there by Unleashed.
That's a serious problem. Leaf is down to just 2 mechas now, and he has no expansion. And Unleashed, is he going for a ref now? He's building something. I'm not quite sure what it is. We'll have to double check. He is building a ref now. It's about a quarter of the way done. But yeah, if he knocks out these 2 mechas, then again, game's going to be reset. It's going to go back to an eco game. So Unleashed may have actually held on.
Kind of interesting strategies out of both of these players. I mean, MasterLeaf didn't open up the same way. Oh, another mecha does go down.
This is nice work from Unleashed. Those 2 headshots from 2 of those mechas, definitely paying dividends there. And it looks like what do you call it? Leaf has got down the refinery, so he's got harvesters here, and he's got 1 ref. He's going to need a second ref because Unleashed has got a ref down as well. Probably going to be looking to transfer some harvesters pretty soon.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing about right where these players are is there's not a lot of Tiberium back at home. They don't have to worry about trying to split harvesters. They can pretty much just send everything over to their expansion. But of course that means that instead of being on 2 base economy, they're now back onto that 1 base economy. And Leaf moving in here, I don't know if this is a good idea. He's getting hazed by these Shredder turrets, losing quite a few of those descents.
There's just not enough descents left. There's 1 Mecha Pig left. He has held on to his tier 3, but he's got no tier 2. He's got a warp sphere again. He had to sell it off again. He's trying to get up some refineries. He does get a double ref down, which is nice, but again, you're talking about those spikes a bit earlier on, and they've been taken out for quite some time, so that's really going to be hurting Leaf at the moment. Yeah, he's destroyed one of Unleashed, but that was only recently, and Unleashed still holds one of his spikes at least.
Yeah, and he's got it is kind of the tucked away one in a fairly defended position. Unleashed, he's dropped down that second refinery, which is pretty evenly matched with MasterLeaf. I think MasterLeaf might have been a little bit ahead, but I don't think it's necessarily far enough ahead. Bike's coming in on the back end of the base for MasterLeaf. He's, well, Unleashed actually pauses there. Is going to be heading in. There are descents here, but Unleashed knows about it, and MasterLeaf almost heads the wrong way.
That should have really been an easy kill, I think, for Unleashed if he was a little bit quicker there, but the Disintegrators managed to herd the bikes away. They could even take out these upgraded power plants just to slow MasterLeaf down. They're going to take a swing at them on the way out. Half its health goes straight away.
Yeah, the Descents do catch up with them, but it's only one squad.
There's that mecha, that one mecha. I think he's actually rebuilding mechas again, so he's got a warp sphere down. He's got 3 mechas out, but of course this is pressuring Unleashed into going bikes. We'll have to see if he's going for a tech center at the moment. He has got a structure queue. Let's have a look what it is. It's going to be a tech center about halfway done.
Yeah, because he's on that tier 2.
Yeah. Once he gets supercharged, these disintegrators are going to lose a ton of their effectiveness in this game.
Yeah, MasterLeaf has a couple of openings he's trying to exploit, but the runaround time is just a bit too long. I think that Unleashed shouldn't. He doesn't have a Shredder turret queued, so I am actually wrong in that respect. He snipes one Harvester, a second Harvester may be going down. One power plant does get sold off. Yeah, this Harvester is down. That's not a lot of Tiberium that it was harvesting, but also in MasterLeaf's base, he does get the Stasis Chamber or the Temporal Chamber down.
He's not going to get that tech center at all, and those bikes aren't going to be able to escape. He didn't even try to run, so he was either not watching when the temporal wormhole came down, or he decided that escape wasn't possible, so he tried to do as much damage as possible. No mechas fall, and the tech center is about 50% of his health.
Yeah, Unleashed has definitely been forced to spend a lot on Shredder turrets, but you mentioned charged particle beams a little bit earlier, and it's like Shredder turrets with that upgrade, they go from being meh to being actually a pretty defensible structure, so he's kept them around, and they're definitely going to have utility in defending these attacks.
Look at that, he pulls the harvesters off the line early. That was nice by Unleashed. Look at this is very nice as well. Most players wouldn't do that. They just leave them there, and now he's pulled them into the Shredder turrets. Yeah, he's going to lose some harvesters anyway, but the Obelisk comes down. As long as he has headshots, he's going to be okay. One mecha down, one shot. I think he called the harvesters back a little bit too soon. I think Leaf is just going to sacrifice here. And yeah, second mecha goes down, but yeah, he's sacrificing for the harvesters. I don't think Unleashed should have pulled them back on the line so soon. He can clean these up with just one Obelisk, but that's going to be 5 harvesters down.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a relatively even trade. One more mecha might go down. Yeah, he gets...
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't quite get it. He got, like, most of the mecha. But yeah, that was a trade for a lot of mechas. Bikes are here, and they all go down. Not another mecha loss, so... Actually, Redeemer Engineering Facility comes down for Unleashed, but MasterLeaf, he's expanding while attacking. That good expansion timing, going to be establishing himself a third base. He's already got the refinery up.
Yeah, I think that attack there was the critical blow for Unleashed. The game was fine up until that point in time, but he killed the mechas, but the trade was just too good for MasterLeaf. 5 harvesters down. Unleashed is down to just 1 harvester. I don't think he has enough to even build the Redeemer. Even if he does, MasterLeaf has got double ref on the second expansion, and his economy is going to be going through the roof very shortly.
So both of these players kind of opening up in a sort of mutually assured destruction fashion where Unleashed opens up high aggression with those flame tanks, doesn't do anything. MasterLeaf tries to hit back and basically just sort of evens the game up. And as you mentioned, it's kind of like a reset at that point. And then these two players have been struggling for that power play and for that momentum, and Leaf might have just found it. The Redeemer is coming out. Ooh, and that mecha feed goes down. Was that the Obelisk?
No, that was actually the supercharged particle beam, so the head must have been very low on health there because it only took a few shots and actually took it out. And I'm surprised that Unleashed did actually get the Redeemer out. I guess that'll allow him to hold on, but he needs harvesters and he needs them like right now.
So, MasterLeaf going for that Warp Chasm. You think he follows up with tripods for the EMP, or does he go like more mechas?
He's probably going to go, well, obviously he's going to get the Hexapod out first, but I think he's at the point in the game where he knows he's ahead, so he's just going to build his epic unit, and then he's going to come across with a big attack that Unleashed can't possibly counter, and he's going to finish him off. But there's no reason to just sacrifice any more of these mechas at the moment by going into that base, because the Obelisk is still there. It's probably going to be certain death if he goes in there now.
Yeah, and he can also play a bit of the contain game where he just stops Unleashed. Oh, a nice snipe on the Mechapede there. The Rage Den does go off as well, and another Mechapede does go down.
I don't think Leaf was expecting to find the Redeemer out in the middle of the map. I think he was definitely expecting to find that at home, and there's only 1 mecha left now. He's going to try to get some napalm on the head, but I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, the contain game that I was kind of talking about earlier is just bleeding Unleashed dry, basically, where you don't let him take a third base, you constantly deny that, you sit on your 3 base sort of economy, and then you just basically bleed him dry on his 1 base. That's an option for MasterLeaf, but he might just go for the straight-up kill like you mentioned.
Yeah, he just lost his last Mechapede as well, so that's... Oh, actually, no, there's a few more that he's rebuilt. But, I mean, Unleashed is trying to expand, and you got to remember, on his first expansion, he's only harvested about half of it because of the harassment, where Leaf has actually harvested everything. So Leaf will run out of Tiberium first if he doesn't try to take, say, Unleashed main base or something like that. So ultimately, there's more Tiberium on Unleashed side of the map, but does he have time to harvest it and build an army? He's probably about to lose his tech center as well.
Yeah, so the infrastructure going down could be a bit of an upset, but he's already got the epic unit out. And there is going to be the Prodigy with the teleporting Annihilator tripod.
No,
the Rage Gen fires off. A great move there by Unleashed.
Nice clutch Rage Gen there.
That was
Did he just get the Prodigy as well?
Yes. That was a great power play from Unleashed.
Oh man, epic Rage Gen there. Gets the Prodigy, crushes the tripod, and gets the tech center. That's no more Prodigy, but I mean, he's got a hexapod in his expansion. He needs M buggies, and he doesn't have a tech center, so, oh man.
He sold that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is bad news. We might be seeing a bit of a base race, but that very well may be favoring MasterLeaf over the long haul if he can pick up and run. There isn't a whole lot of stuff that shoots up for Unleashed, and he can keep that MCV airborne all day long. As you mentioned, EMP Raider buggies, and he just doesn't have them. The Redeemer Engineering Facility goes down. He's trying to pump out units out of the Hand of Nod, but he just doesn't have the time.
Yeah, he's got his MCV on the left-hand side. I don't think MasterLeaf actually realizes it's there because he's moving into this base. And I mean, that's going to allow Unleashed to survive by the fact that he's still going to have that as a mobile building, but he's not. He should try to kill those mechas with those rockets because that's something he can actually kill. And I think he did try to change targets at the last second, but not going to be enough. So basically, the Redeemer has to destroy everything. He has to rebuild a tech center.
Yeah, he rebuilt that tech, which is kind of important. I don't know if he'll actually get the time to produce any of those tier 3 units, but yeah, this Redeemer moving on in. He's got a big job ahead of him, especially if that MCV starts running, because the building count is absolutely dwindling here as the Rage Gen fires off again. Oh, the Descent's coming in. They're actually targeting themselves a little bit here. And of course, the Black Hand unit inside of that Redeemer is going to be absolutely imperative in stopping these Disintegrators. And goodbye pretty much all Disintegrators.
Disintegrators, not an option to counter this tripod. Not this tripod, sorry, Redeemer. But Unleashed does have enough for a refinery. But he seemed to have cancelled it. Yeah, he cancelled it. So that's unfortunate. I think he realizes he basically has to win with the Redeemer right now, and he's getting chased by a tripod. I don't think his Rage Gen's recharged, so he's probably going to get EMP'd shortly.
Yeah, and I think MasterLeaf just realized what happened because he turned tail with all of his forces and just gutted across the map. And he's like, all right, this is what you've got. I'm going to take it out, win this easy peasy, one up for me. It's going to be oh, yeah, the EMP.
Yeah. EMP locks down the Redeemer. Buzzer Swarm comes in at the top base, and Unleashed is going to have to GG out of game 1.
MasterLeaf takes a 1-0 lead.
All right.
I don't know if anyone was expecting a 5-0, but I certainly don't.
So game 1 was a 16-minute game.
That was. It's like half of the preliminary final games, like right there in terms of length.
Yeah, that would have been like a few of those preliminary games. There was 2 5-minute games and a 3-minute game.
Oh.
So that fits those in there. But look at the resource graph there, and Unleashed did well to hang on to what he had. I mean, he did end up having only half the economy, but it didn't feel like it at the end. Leaf had a handful of units, and he had a handful of units, but of course. Leaf just coming through there, 2.0 kill death ratio to MasterLeaf, surprisingly.
Yeah, and I mean they were both going for that kind of heavy infantry tactics, which is why I'm kind of surprised that MasterLeaf is that far ahead. I expected it to be a bit more even, but yeah, double income for MasterLeaf basically in comparison. And last game we saw Black Hand versus Traveler 59. It's a little bit of a mix-up here since Traveler 59 was struck by Unleashed. So as the red GDI in the top left side of Twisted Rift, it's MasterLeaf.
And if we scroll on to the bottom right-hand side, playing as the yellow Traveler 59, it's going to be Unleashed UA, and he is playing straight for the fast legs. There's the stasis chamber. So it's going to be fast legs from Unleashed, but he builds a decent amount of buzzers as well. We could be seeing maybe some extra engineers as well. We'll have to see how that goes.
So MasterLeaf, he was doing this so much yesterday. Do you think he has any idea how to stop it?
Oh, I mean, definitely. I mean, GDI, it's hard for GDI to stop because the rifles just don't have the DPS that say what Cabals have and things like that. And I mean, he's going to see these Disintegrators straight away. He's going to probably even take out a full squad.
He gets, yeah, that entire squad. A little bit of damage on one of the other squads, not enough to make a difference. But he knows it's coming, drafts a watchtower, sells it off, goes probably for an APC right out of the gate, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it comes down to the APC and the mine bomb. Like, the idea is to trick your opponent to try to kill the APC, because when they approach the APC, you can just drop the minefield right where the APC is at that point in time, and it just decimates all the disintegrators. And that's the most cost-efficient and effective way to clean these guys up. Here we go. Is Unleashed going to get off the mine bomb, though? There he goes. It's not complete, but it's still... Oh,
he gets the eject, though, which is quite nice. And there's 2 squads left. So this is not nearly as powerful as it should be. He is going to be killing the spike, which is certainly nice for Unleashed. He's going to be really enjoying having a 1 spike advantage over his opponent. But the follow-up for this is going to be relatively similar timings for both of these players. It's 2 Harv against 2 Harv, 1 refinery. The Descents just haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, that mine bomb wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to damage the disintegrators enough. And yeah, MasterLeaf is going to lose this spike, which is bad, and I guess at least the disintegrators have forced units out. There's no second ref for MasterLeaf. Unleashed has 3 harvesters. He does cancel the 4th harvester, realizing that he actually does need to get a second refinery before getting any more harvesters there. So it's going to move into an eco game, although he does pop down a portal, so...
Okay, so he's actually looking for the fake out. He's just going to mass up a ton of descents. He might actually go dual portal, but I wouldn't expect that. But yeah, he's just going single portal. Yeah, he's just looking for a big descent push at this point. I would be surprised if he only went with like 5 or 6. He might just kind of drain a lot of his eco into descents. And as I say that, I'm completely wrong. He only builds 4.
I think it's just like a follow-up sneaky attack, because MasterLeaf has put down a very fast comm center. This is 1 base comm center into airfield with AP ammo, but if you look at MasterLeaf's vision, this is a huge problem, because he can't see anything but his own base.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. There's going to be the airfield. It is a kind of an exposed position, and the MCV packs up. There's going to be no watchtowers, no extra rifleman squads, and the descents do take kind of along the north side of the map. MasterLeaf will very soon get vision of this, and there's the Ox transport, but it's heading the wrong direction. Here come the descents. They're going to get some free shots off. No. They go for the power plant. An interesting choice here. Maybe a slight misclick. Oh.
There's the sell-off. He's going to get a harvester.
That was an empty Harv, not too big of a deal right now. He goes for the one that's docking. A good choice by Unleashed. He's playing this out well. Oh my gosh, he doesn't get it.
Still demoralizing attack, because that was only, what, like 4 or 5 descent squads. That was very small and inexpensive for Unleashed to get in and actually do damage. That's going to affect
and he drops another portal.
He had to sell off the airfield as well.
Yeah, he sold off the airfield. His expansion is quite a bit delayed in comparison to MasterLeaf. I don't know if MasterLeaf will actually get a refinery down before Unleashed, but Unleashed drops a portal. MasterLeaf sees it. He flies over again just to be like, hey, bro, you massing up more descents? I see that. I know what you're up to.
V35 still alive. He could get away, but no.
Oh. Okay, so now we'll see if this was kind of the descent push that I was talking about a little earlier. We saw MasterLeaf do this. We saw Technique do this as well, where you go for a big swell of descents. MasterLeaf did like 2 or 3 portal descents, just crazy numbers of them, just to get that insane amount of DPS that's basically an overwhelming tidal wave. But AP ammo is done. APCs are out. He has the opportunity to go for sniper teams, but is that a good idea?
No way. Not against disintegrators. There's just too many disintegrators. I mean, you got to remember, a sniper team kills 1 individual unit at a time. There's just too many in a squad. I mean, that's like 2.5 volleys just to kill 1 squad. The disintegrators are going to be all over you before you do that. And AP ammo is the way to clean these up in mass. I would have liked to see Seeker tanks instead of gunwalkers, just for the extra DPS, even though they are vulnerable to gun-type weaponry. But Unleash, again, has been taking blue Tiberium, so that's going to make up for his slower expansion.
Yeah, definitely important note on the left side of the map. That's just actually a rifleman squad heading through Tiberium. But APC's moving in, and MasterLeaf, he's going to be losing a couple of these. Does get 1 surrounded. I'm assuming he's going for mines, but he hasn't quite dropped them just yet. Maybe a little bit of a misclick there, looking somewhere else on the map. Disintegrators, I believe, on the south side of the map, heading across while MasterLeaf is distracted in the north. And this could be a very powerful attack.
Although there's 2 Shatterer tanks and an APC there now, and he's going to see it with this Rifleman squad, which is going to shoot up the squad as well.
Ooh, yeah, that AP
Leaf
ammo.
sees it.
Oh, nice split! That was just a sick split there. Nice
He's
by
actually gonna get a
Unleashed.
shatter tank.
Yeah, he
He's gonna
grabs
get both of them.
He does indeed get both of them. There's the airfield. It gets dropped down again, but of course MasterLeaf does reveal this immediately to Unleashed. If Unleashed continues to go for heavy descents, which he has sold off the portal, but if he continues to go for heavy descents after the expansion, that could be problematic. Gunwalkers are starting to just get overwhelmed in sheer numbers. MasterLeaf doing what he can to pull APCs. One of them is getting so close to going down, but it does survive.
The Gunwalkers were doing okay against these APCs, focusing them down, but now there's just too many APCs here, and that Shatterer shot just carves through the rest of them. The Disintegrators will get this upgraded power plant, which will knock MasterLeaf's power down, and he is back to tier 1 because he sold off the comm center, and he might even get a Harvester.
They're going to go for the Harvester. The other Harvester does pull back, and man, MasterLeaf just shredding these units with that AP ammo. The extra Rifleman squads from the refinery and from the comm center, I believe, as well, just shredding those Disintegrators. So it's not quite working out, but you mentioned just unease, and it's like, are these engagements super favoring Unleashed? No, some of them are favoring Unleashed, some of them are favoring MasterLeaf, but it's keeping MasterLeaf on the defensive, making it hard for him to move out.
It's basically meant that MasterLeaf has to sit back for the whole game. He sent 2 Harvesters to the blue field only to find that there's no blue tib there, so that was a huge waste. And some of these Hammerheads getting shot up as well, that's expensive.
Ooh, the APCs, the Gunwalkers will be getting caught out of position. Mecha finishes off the other Hammerhead, will be revealing those Mechapedes, but I don't know if MasterLeaf actually saw it. He should definitely be expecting it, but I don't know if he saw it.
He's got the APC army on a move order now. The Shatterers don't shoot and move, so he's had to stop to actually use those now. So it's APCs and Shatterers, which Mechapedes really can't touch because of obviously Sonic technology, but he could probably drop light or storm columns, which I think he's building, which will help him hold this off. And he's trying to kite pretty well, so that's nice.
Yeah, doing a good job of trying to keep the heads away from MasterLeaf's army, although with this...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, those Shatterer tanks just shredding that mecha. MasterLeaf is following this up with an expansion, by the way, so we do want to mention that. He is trying to get his economy sorted out so he can continue to power up units and macro out of this attack.
Those Shatterer shots, man, you can see those Megapedes just stand no chance against that. He needs to kill the Shatterer tanks. And a Storm Column behind the Warp Sphere is a good start as well. That'll help him hold these guys off for a while. But, ooh...
Oh, the Mechapedes there. Disc Mech is going to be able to do some damage to the Hammerheads, but Hammerheads are fairly hardy units by themselves. The Warp Sphere gets targeted down. One Annihilator Tripod does pop out. It's kind of on the right or wrong side of the Warp Sphere, depending on how you look at it. And it gets insta-sniped almost.
Everything lined up, then the Tripods, the Warp Sphere, and the Storm Column. And he's got an elite Shadow tank. This base is going to go down, although he does have another Storm Column, so maybe... If he takes out the Shatterers, the APCs don't have the DPS to take it out, and he is actually going to force MasterLeaf back. Don't forget, if you look at this army, he's got about 70% of his units about one shot away from death. And he's actually going to finish off both the Shatterers with the Lightning Strike.
I mean, if he would have built Storm Riders up at this point, he wouldn't even need very many of them to pick off a couple of these APCs. Of course, in mass, APCs will just shred the Storm Riders, but a Mechapede in the south does get picked off, and wow. Not something you see very often, a combat support airfield.
I mean, it is $500. It's cheaper than a real airfield.
And fortunately, in 1.02 Plus, they don't desync the game.
That's right. Otherwise, that would be very bad. MasterLeaf
Grand Final game. Desync.
It's interesting that Unleashed only has one ref on his expansion. He's looking pretty hurt at this point in time. I'm not sure if he's in a position where he can recover from this. He's going to have to camp pretty hard for a while and just hope that MasterLeaf... I mean, MasterLeaf doesn't really have much of an army. He's got some scattered Hammerheads and some scattered APCs.
I don't know.
He needs to get his expansion.
I like this attack coming out of MasterLeaf. He is expanding behind it, which means losing these units isn't the biggest deal, but does he need to sacrifice them? Maybe, maybe not. If he gets Harvesters, it'll definitely be worth it, but that Storm Column's still doing a fair amount of damage. There's the phase comes off, but the refinery will go down, and again, you mentioned it before, the one refinery situation that Unleashed is on. If he goes back to that, he's going to have a lot of lining up Harvesters.
Yeah, it was a good hold from Unleashed with the phase field and of course the Storm Column there, and the Ion Storm, which stayed around, actually killed off a lot more units as well, so Leaf losing more of his army. There's a powered down ref in the south which Unleashed has a Harvester just queuing up for, so you might want to fix that up. There we go, sells it now.
Yeah, MasterLeaf behind this, going tech. He's got the armory. I'm assuming he's going to be getting out Well, is it EMP grenades, you think, or compound armor?
It's going to be compo armor, but he has queued up M grenades behind it, so
Okay.
he might be concerned that Unleashed could be getting a hexapod out. But I mean, he can see most of Unleashed base.
Yeah.
He might actually be about to throw it in because Unleashed sold off the storm column. Oh, just to place another one down, okay?
Oh, clutch descents in the north. This one single squad is going to save the day for Unleashed, but power down mode is very brutal, and there goes that storm column.
I was like, well, he's got a secret army. It's like,
no.
And Unleashed.
Well, I saw the dot in the north, and I was like, is that a Prodigy? Like, is this going to be a sick comeback? And then it was just one unit. But GG, and Unleashed goes down 0-2, but it's not over yet.
Alright, so that game a little bit short. I mean, Unleashed playing his classic Travel 59, but MasterLeaf just managing to hold it off, not absorb as much damage as Unleashed needed him to take. And Unleashed a little bit slow as expansion, took a long time to get 2 ref down there. The resource graph is interesting, only 102,000, 84,000, so we had, like only 17,000 in favor of MasterLeaf, which is very nice, but it's not like overkill.
Yeah, it was a nice, comfortable edge, and I think if we would have seen maybe a 20-minute game, we would have seen a bit of a bigger discrepancy between like 10 and 18 minutes as MasterLeaf just harvests all of that third field, and then of course is able to macro that up. But a solid game from both players. Unfortunately, descents early on not working out for Unleashed like they were working for MasterLeaf yesterday. All right, as the yellow Traveler 59 in the bottom left side of Tournament Decision, it's Unleashed.
And on the top right-hand side of TD, we have the blue Traveler 59. It's going to be a Traveler 59 mirror. It's MasterLeaf, fresh from his victory over Bike Rush. And I think that's one of the highlights of the tournament.
For sure. And I'm kind of curious to see how these players play it out. It is going to be descents for both players. Yep, Stasis Chamber goes down slightly faster than MasterLeaf, but not enough of a difference to make a real difference in the game.
Look at this, it's double portal from Unleashed. He's sending his disintegrators to the south as well, so he's not going down the guts. Oh, he might be trying to get real greedy, take all the spikes, and because MasterLeaf's gone disintegrators, I don't think it's possible. He has got a buzzer swarm across the other side, which will cut off MasterLeaf's engineer. MasterLeaf must be aware of it because he's already pulled the engineer back as well.
Interesting. Yeah, he's got that pretty close to that spike. MasterLeaf does pull his descents back. Alright, this kid, he's got just star sense if he sees this coming in the south. He will see it at the spike, but that's not a huge amount of warning. However, there is only like 5 squads, so it's not as big of a commitment as I maybe thought it was going to be. He does clean up that buzzer squad, and he is going to be grabbing that second spike.
Ooh.
And
MasterLeaf did catch like about half a second of those disintegrator squads, and he seems to be aware of it. He's not building a harvester.
Oh, he's not queuing a harvester. Yeah, he queues the buzzer hive, gets an extra power plant, queues another buzzer hive behind that. So he is reacting appropriately. Maybe a gunwalker would be an opportunity, but he has to make sure that it doesn't get within range of those disintegrators, or else they'll just tear it apart.
Whoa, Unleashed has nothing in his base.
Oh, what? Oh, he doesn't even... Wow, when you said nothing, you meant nothing. I was not expecting that.
And MasterLeaf just sold off his warp sphere, just one harvester. I think that was a mistake.
Unleashed does have a refinery queued.
Oh, he does have a refinery.
Okay, there we go.
He held it.
Yeah.
He put it on hold.
I guess that was a good move by him, but since he hasn't done any economic damage to Leaf, it didn't pay off, because Leaf didn't have to pull his harvester or anything.
I mean, I was like, wow, that's a really late ref now. Obviously, he went extra portals, and he did get 3 of the spikes, and he is going to destroy MasterLeaf's spikes, so that's huge. That's going to be huge. The fact that he forced the sell-off of the warp sphere all of a sudden puts MasterLeaf. He way overcompensated for that attack. Like, look at the buzzer hives. Look at the stuff he forced out. That was crazy.
Yeah, 3 buzzer hives, the sell-off of that warp sphere. He's going to be able to slightly recover, but triple spike versus 0? I mean, that's 180 credits a minute, or 1,800. One of the two.
That definitely worked out in Unleashed's favor here. Not only did he get all the spikes, but he's on par with MasterLeaf. They both have a warp sphere and a refinery, and MasterLeaf is going to lose a decent amount of his disintegrator squads while Unleashed is camping MasterLeaf's field.
Yeah. And I believe it is 1,800 credits a minute at 30 credits a second for those 3 spikes. So if someone wants to start a timer and just see how long Unleashed is able to hold on to those 3 spikes, it's probably going to be a bit of a difference between these 2 players. But yeah, MasterLeaf just spent so much early on.
It's a huge problem for MasterLeaf. And Unleashed getting his disintegrators torn up on buzzer highs, which is not good. But again, you said at 3 spike, 30 credits a second, when MasterLeaf doesn't have that, Unleashed is going to be cranking pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I'm sure that most of the practice games or any sort of preparation that MasterLeaf did on this map, like just in general playing this map, you don't normally expect to be 0 spike against 3 spike. So he may not be necessarily expecting the sort of economic deficit that he'll have, but is it going to be big enough? He is going to Synths, so those are fairly cheap, and he's got nothing queued out of his... Oh! Sells his Warp Spear. He's on 3 Harvesters. I think he has a Refinery. No, that's a Portal queued.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess this game is going to be over soon. This is either going to work or he's going to die, I guess.
I mean, endless disintegrators versus one another. You can remember that buzzer hives can defend this out extremely cost effectively. He's going to take his spike back, so I mean, it's going to take at least 50 seconds for Leaf to recover from that deficit of the engineer.
He gets it there, so he takes that back. A slight, economic sort of detraction from Unleashed, but that's going to be completely nullified by the economic advantage that Unleashed is going to have in refineries and harvesters. It's still dual portal. He's not actually producing anything at the current moment, and this attack was spotted pretty early on by Unleashed. He knows that it's coming, and actually, I guess MasterLeaf packed along an extra engineer. He's like, you're going to take my spike? Well, I'll take yours.
He's got an extra spike. It looks like Unleashed, though, has double ref. MasterLeaf only has single ref, and he is building another one, but even though he's going to lose his grip on some or at least 2 of these spikes, again, it's going to take a while to recover from that damage, and Unleashed harvesters ultimately get more money than spikes, so...
Yeah. Ooh, 1 buzzer hive goes down relatively quickly. A second structure in the defensive tab is being queued, but I'm not sure what it is. It's building quite slowly. Oh, he does get a nice displacement. Is that a single squad?
Yeah, that's a single buzzer swarm, just ripped through the whole lot, and he got an elite buzzer. That hurt.
Yeah, that pretty much stopped most of MasterLeaf in his tracks. He's going to continue this dual portal play. He's finally up to that 2 refinery stature, which is on par with Unleashed, which is not where he wants to be. He wants to find a way to get ahead, whether it be economically or if he starts doing maybe some teching and he's able to stop Unleashed. But right now, Unleashed is looking pretty good.
Yeah, Disintegrator fights in the center there go Unleashed way purely because he had reinforcements and just completely overwhelmed Leaf now. This is a crazy game. I don't think I've seen a game like this, like a Trav 59 mirror end up like this, like both sides just like, nope, I'm going to keep attacking endlessly with portals, and Unleashed going to be taking back one of the spikes. I'm not sure if the south spike is actually going to be paid for MasterLeaf, because he is going to lose it relatively quickly again.
Yeah, he might not even get that investment, that return on investment. And constant aggression, we do have a nerve center down. I'm not sure if that's just for the tech or if he's going to be dropping a lightning spike or something like that. I guess he could be
calling the buzzer swarm.
Oh yeah, that as well. Buzzer? That's a heroic something. I'm not sure what it was. There's Unleashed trying to clear up the buzzers. He doesn't quite get it. He does clear up a couple. That didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought.
There's Corruptors coming out from Unleashed. He isn't going for a tech center, and MasterLeaf is going for a stasis chamber for some reason. He might be getting ready to go into
Cultist Prodigy?
I mean, Prodigy definitely, but I don't think it would build Cultist in this situation. There's just too many disintegrators.
Yeah, he's queued something else behind that stasis chamber. He needs to go tier 3. But I mean, well, I guess we'll have to see what comes out of the portal. He's sniping down one of the spikes. Unleashed is not going to be happy about that, but Unleashed has reclaimed his southern spike, which has changed hands way too many times. And yeah, you mentioned it. Cultist's not necessarily going to be super cost-effective. He's drafting 2 of them thus far and looking to continue to power them out, maybe.
Check this out. 3 gunwalkers in the south. There is an engineer stealth. If he can kill all the disintegrators, he can use that that assimilator to take the spike. And does he have enough health on this gunwalker? Yeah, it's gonna be close.
So close. The Corruptor comes up as well. Yeah, and on the left side of the map, there was a couple of Corruptors. MasterLeaf tried to move in with Descent, but it just did not work. I guess MasterLeaf might be able to cap this Gunwalker, but it's near death anyway. Oh, wait, whose Gunwalker is that?
It's Unleashed Gunwalker. Now, Unleashed has an assimilator near the spike he's actually destroying at the moment. He's just realized it as well. He's moving the Corruptor away. He's probably going to lose it to mind control. Whoa, jeez. That was a lot of disintegrators that just died. But the cultists in the center. Oh, no,
Oh.
Sybert.
Oh, what in the...
They just go
Wait,
straight
what?
past them.
What in the world just happened? As I don't actually know who is who right now.
Oh,
Where
what
the-
is happening?
How did MasterLeaf get his Corruptors down there? One Gunwalker, a second Gunwalker, all of the... Whoa, all of those disintegrators, they're just dead. MasterLeaf is capping all of the vehicles. Kind of the point of the disintegrators is there's supposed to be too many of them for the cultists. Not the same with Gunwalkers and Corruptors. MasterLeaf is capping
Look at
everything.
He's got everything.
What?
How did he... That's
What?
crazy.
Is MasterLeaf
He's
actually
got like 10 squads.
turning this... what? I don't even know. And he's just going to take out the portal. He's got the Corruptor camping that portal. Buzzers do nothing. The Storm Column might be able to help fend this off, but it's going to be super annoying for Unleashed to basically just have to kill units that he paid for. Storm Rider, no, it's a Gunwalker back behind. Unleashed actually does have one Gunwalker. I think that one was captured and then ended up, the cultist died.
Here comes the Buzzer Hives, man. Oh, Buzzer Swarm comes off, but the cultists are going to run away from it and they all get taken out.
Wow, so
now he's
this
taking
game, he grabs a Harvester, yeah, I think you just said that, but I think he's going for more Harvesters. He's running in front, kind of close. He grabs a Harvester full of Tibbies, running the cultists away, and those fast legs, oh man, advanced articulators, he's just grabbing all of his Harvesters.
He's got every single Harvester and
Oh
all
my
of Unleashed army.
gosh.
There's about 15 cultist squads here, and Unleashed has nothing left.
This is... what in the world? And he's going shock troopers after this. He's just making mass advanced infantry out of Traveler 59 work. One of these harvesters is very full of Tiberium, and the cultist squad is just running away from this buzzer. He's desperately trying to get them back to safety. I guess the shock troopers are going to be the saving grace of MasterLeaf, but he drives away the harvesters, 3 of them. Not a lot of Tiberium, but denying the economy. Wait, what the heck? Did he cap an engineer and then send the engineer into that?
He captured
Oh my
an engineer
gosh.
and he took the tower with it. And now he's bringing all these harvesters home.
Wow. Yeah, denying that economy.
Oh, Prodigy. Prodigy gets the drone platform in the east.
Oh,
man, that's what
and
Unleashed
it's
was
in
doing.
the air. He does redeploy it, and that is going to be a sell-off. So that's the denial of the expansion. But all right, so the Prodigy is running past the cultists. Not a whole lot that can happen there, I don't think.
There's an assimilator running to Leaf's base as well. Oh no, Leaf is down to just 2 portal. Oh no, and he's going to lose one of his portals.
Oh my gosh, Unleashed, he does it.
Capped out. If Unleashed just defends, he wins the game basically.
It's a base trap.
These shock troopers.
But there's the sell-off of the other portal, and MasterLeaf has no defense. There's just absolutely just going to be assimilators everywhere. You called it, Green Zero.
Is Unleashed going to come back? He's going to cap out MasterLeaf's entire base.
This is actually happening. MasterLeaf with the insane comeback, and then he blames his music after that. Dissent's coming out for Unleashed. MasterLeaf closing in.
He teleports the drone platform across the map. He teleported his drone platform across the map. MasterLeaf is going to run out of buildings.
This has to be it. MasterLeaf is just going to get everything capped. He doesn't have anything. He snipes an engineer, but...
Oh my god, is he going to win this game? He's down to just 2 buildings. He needs to destroy these buildings. Oh no,
the cultists coming in. Okay,
Oh,
GG, holy cow! MasterLeaf. What?
How does that happen?
Oh, that replay.
Epic Prodigy, man. I can't believe that. We were sitting there like, oh yeah, MasterLeaf, sick micro, he's going to shut this down and win the game. And then all of a sudden, Prodigy just turns the whole game around.
Oh my gosh, that Prodigy, the MVP of that game, Unleashed, with the
Prodigy.
6 strats.
Look at the resource graph, it just flatlines for Unleashed, and he's like, I don't need economy, I'll just cap out his whole base.
What? That game, 0.99 efficiency or kill to death ratio versus 0.98, but I don't know how much of that is actually due to the cultists capping. I don't know how it calculates that. But at any rate, that didn't even matter because Unleashed just caps the drone platform.
How crazy was that?
And that was a game that we saw live. We were there to witness it. That was absolutely amazing. I can't wait for the stream to see that. That was just insane. How did Unleashed do that?
Oh my god, that was... I was wondering why, he's got no harvesters, no money. Why is he still in the game? And then all of a sudden I'm like, hang on. Prodigy, and he takes the drone platform. Leaf has no answer. Like, he's just lost his whole base to engineers.
We are back on Arena, and spawning as the purple Traveler 59 in the top left side, it's MasterLeaf.
And spawning on the bottom right-hand side, choosing the Blackhand faction, surprisingly, despite no strike being used, it's going to be Unleashed UA from Ukraine. Hell yeah.
Yep. And he goes one engineer. He's not going to try anything sneaky. I don't think I've ever seen anyone successfully pull off 2 engineer on this map in a competitive game. In some silly games, but it's fast descents for MasterLeaf.
If you know what the other faction is, I mean, I've seen it happen before. If you screen, you could just build a lot of buzzers. If you Blackhand, you can go for flame, because obviously that's got a lot of other purpose as well. You can go and try to take out buildings, or you can build some rockets, or just go all in man spam with no ref, which is pretty crazy.
Now, is that an operations center building by Unleashed? It's building kind of quickly. I guess it could be a ref. It's hard to tell, but Fast Legs is almost done.
It's his war factory. You don't build a
second.
Operations center first. He's going to spot the disintegrators, though.
I was getting a bit ahead of myself. Yeah, the disintegrators do get spotted. A couple of shots coming off there, almost eliminating one squad, about down to half health. He's trying to intercept with Cabals.
It looks like, and I think he's just going to do the tactic where he just runs straight past all the Cabals, but Unleashed has just got too much here. Oh man, he's going to lose so many disintegrators.
He's shredding. He's getting close to the Harvester, and he's got one squad that's kind of protected, but MasterLeaf doesn't have enough range to get to that Harvester and finish it off.
That was Leaf's strat, to just run past all the defenses, but Unleashed just had too many Cabals already sitting around.
Yep. And it's 2 Harv versus 2 Harv. This doesn't exactly, massively slow down Leaf, but depending on what the follow-up is from Unleashed, this could be a very quick game.
Yeah, it looks like Unleashed is going to have a 3rd Harvester out, I think, unless it's some kind of buggy. No, it's the 3rd Harvester, and you got to remember his next ref is about 3/4 of the way done, where MasterLeaf is just starting his. So, essentially, Unleashed is a good 30 seconds ahead of Unleashed, and that's huge at this point in the game.
Yep, and Unleashed is going to get a full scout on what MasterLeaf is doing. He's going to be able to scout anything that goes down, and that it's just going to be the 2nd refinery. And we should be seeing an extra Harvester out of MasterLeaf. We'll have to see if he goes for a Gunwalker before that, since there's Cabal squads coming in, and they can be quite annoying.
Yeah, he doesn't have the money to build the 4th Harvester just yet. He needs to get out this next ref. He's going to have Harvesters queuing up. He should move one, which he does straight away. So that's nice control. But yeah, he is. He's going to lose this power plant if all these Cabals rock up. Although he has split them to different parts of the map now.
Yeah, the Gunwalker does come out, there we go, to try and either get the crushes off or just straight up shoot the Cabals. Either one, but there's the expansion from Unleashed. MasterLeaf gets eyes on it.
Oh, he sold his Warp Sphere. He's been doing that so much.
He is really loving this heavy descent style. And I mean, against Blackhand, the faction that has more flame and better flame than anyone else, you'd think it wouldn't be good, but he makes it work.
Unleashed did see it. He was building something for his war factory that he just straight up cancelled, so he's actually trying to transition to something. He's got a ref on the expansion, which is huge problems for Leaf, because he's got obviously an expansion when Leaf doesn't, but he knows, he's well aware of this this attack coming. There's a nerve center, but there's no stasis. He's going to expand behind it. But Unleashed, I think he's going to start planting. He needs to start planting down shredder turrets. He's got no defenses, no base defenses down, and he's not queuing any. And he's been well aware of this for at least a good 45 seconds now.
Yeah, it's kind of curious that he's just now queuing, I'm assuming, a shredder turret, as nothing else would really make any sense. But we do have the disintegrators coming in, and this is going to have to be a pretty big ring for... Oh, low power mode there for Unleashed, unfortunately.
He needs to defend that Harvester, and I think he's going to do it nice.
Yeah.
He needs more shredder turrets down. He's underestimating the strength of this strategy that we've seen Leaf do, where the disintegrators just have too much power.
Yeah, he's queuing one now, which is definitely a good move. He might also be queuing a power plant to follow it up for a cell or something like that. But he needs to make sure that he keeps these buildings online. So he's going for the buggies. He's going to clean up a couple buggies, but those aren't the high-value targets that Leaf needs to kill.
Yeah, those buggies are just it's pointless killing them. They're only $500 each. He has pulled these harvesters off the line for a while. Unleashed now, just getting them back to work. But it's good that he did pull them off the line because he saved them. And oh no, Leaf is running into a bunker in the blue field.
Ooh.
He's going to get shredded.
That little move by Unleashed earlier in this game paying off, and now the buggies will clean up the rest of the disintegrators. MasterLeaf is following up with more disintegrators. He's going to try to get like a flank.
Unleashed sees it.
But Unleashed...
Oh no, he packs up. Ooh. He needs to redeploy and move his harvesters right now.
Okay, he does redeploy. Yeah, the harvesters might... One might go down. It's going to be pretty close. This is a lot of disintegrators being traded. A second harvester is taking a lot of damage. It's going to be in low damage, but he loses it.
He did not need to lose that. He just stopped moving.
Wow. Yeah, he just sort of paused it. I don't know if he just forgot to click again or if something else happened. But the harvester is now established.
Unleashed needs to do damage with this counterattack, like otherwise Leaf is going to recover. And
yeah, there's a photon cannon
comes down as well.
And I mean, he does have a couple of Scorpion tanks mixed in, so this is definitely a hard-hitting army when it comes to harvester harass. But
this is something he did versus Technique. He's moving the MCV over here. That's going to deny the disintegrators because obviously with Shredder turrets here, he can camp out MasterLeaf's field. And MasterLeaf has no tier 2, which means he's tier 1, and he won't hold as a tier 1 Traveler 59 versus this base bush, which I'm not even sure if he's aware if that Unleashed is here.
He should be aware of it now as the Shredder turret does go down. And these buggies absorbing a lot of the shots, which is exactly what Unleashed wants. He hasn't exactly done a lot of damage other than forcing the Harvester to be pulled off the line a little bit there. And more photon cannons are going down.
You got to remember that Leaf has no tib on his main, so the only tib he can get is from harvesting this field. And every unit that goes down, you know, he's got no structures queue, which means he's not trying to do some kind of desperate fast tech. I think he's going to try to go for the blue field, but Unleashed, his main base or his harvesting is going to be unaffected unless these desynths decide to go around. But you know what? I think Unleashed is just going to see that. He could just spam endless Scorp tanks at the moment, and MasterLeaf would be powerless to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, if he could get like the dream angle with these descents, he might be able to make something happen, but the Shredder turrets are making that absolutely impossible at the current moment. Yeah, the descents just sort of holding back, not able to really do a lot.
That line of photon cannons is really powerful. Unleashed needs to keep away from that. He's moving the MCV forward again, but there's now 4 cannons there. 5 if you count the one that's a little bit further over.
Yeah, he's cleaning up some of these buggies, but buggies pretty cheap, not necessarily the value targets that MasterLeaf needs to be killing. He's trading Seekers for them, and MasterLeaf needs to make sure that he keeps the Seekers alive. One buggy, a slight misclick there. And these disintegrators heading along the south side, they get stopped by that Shredder turret, forced to turn around. And you think Unleashed just goes around the base defenses, or can he not chance it?
I mean, he needs to just stop MasterLeaf from harvesting. He could sit on the other side of the tip field where he is, and he'll be fine. I think he might actually have to get a second ref down as expansion. He's got a lot here, because if he sits here, he's got to actually kill some harvesters. And Leaf is still actually harvesting in the middle of this fight. He's sending disintegrator squads around, but to be honest, I think Unleashed is going to see it.
He should definitely see it. He's sending Cabal squads up that way. He doesn't have a ton of buggies left, so I guess he lost a few too many of those. But the harvesters do not actually get pulled. One is going to be going down for sure. It doesn't have a lot of Tiberium. These other ones have a bit more Tiberium. The buggies show up. It's a little too late. Another harvester goes down.
That was not necessary.
Ooh. And that
wasn't necessary to lose 2 harvesters there.
That's like a third of the economy of Unleashed.
And look at all the Seeker tanks now that Leaf has.
He's bought himself a lot of time with this defensive strategy, just playing kind of that cat and mouse game, try to catch the disintegrators. He manages to break through. Scorpion tanks, a couple of them getting absolutely smashed.
Scorpion tanks. Oh man, the Scorpion tank army has just been diminished.
There's not very many of them left. They're kind of huddling around the war factory, scared for their lives, and it's the tables have kind of turned. A couple minutes ago, it was Unleashed who just had an overwhelming number of forces, and MasterLeaf who was up against the ropes, and now, through careful defensive camping.
Yeah, that line of photon cannons there definitely saved him. I can't believe Unleashed couldn't actually wall this up. He's got a lot of Cabal squads which can destroy those guys pretty quickly, but they're all getting crushed. And yeah, those descent run bys, Unleashed was aware of them, and losing 2 harvests of that, just again, not necessary to lose that. He's trying to transition to rocket squads, but he has no money, and he has to sell up the war factory as well.
Yeah, he's going for those rocket squads like you mentioned, but one hand of nod of rocket squads probably not going to be enough to really break this attack. He's pushing it back, but MasterLeaf is like, I'm going to go back, get some free repairs, and then just sort of sit on my not exactly an eco advantage, but he's just going to sit back a little longer.
Yeah, you got to remember that Unleashed is harvesting some blue Tiberium as well. He did get some blue tip, and he might actually keep Leaf, or actually might actually retain his position on this field with Leaf here. If he gets Flame Upgrade, he'll be sitting pretty. But does he even have a shrine? He does have a shrine. Flame Upgrade's almost done actually, so maybe it's going to force out a lot of Gunwalkers, which don't have a lot of utility later on in the game.
Yeah, they're not too good at actually killing some of the transitions that Unleashed can go for, even if he just goes heavier Scorpion tanks. But it's dual Warp Sphere and currently just those Gunwalkers, and there's the Black Disciple upgrade. They're currently not doing anything, they're just not in range. But if he can get them in range, he can do some actual damage.
The whole purpose of having them here is if they get rushed with Buzzer Swarms and or to tank a lot of damage. But there's Buzzer Hives being built now, and now MasterLeaf has a double Warp Sphere.
And it's almost the battle of the base defenses. MasterLeaf has sold off pretty much all of his photon cannons, which on one hand he does get that cash boost, but if he doesn't just break Unleashed right here, right now, it could be trouble. I think Unleashed is broken.
Yeah, Unleashed is broken. He doesn't have the Harvesters back at his main either. He's only got 4 Harvesters, and they're all spread out, so selling all those War Factories up.
Ooh.
I just felt he could have just camped the field without sacrificing so many units. And just worked on his eco at home. But yeah, unfortunately, Leaf just wore it down, especially with that line of photon cannons. And I think Unleashed is about to lose his MCV now.
Yeah, he sells off right on the front lines there. I mean, he's trying to get a bit of extra damage. I'm not sure what he's deploying back home. He goes dual rack, so he's looking for just a ton of rocket troopers. And, I mean, he's got maybe a couple of buildings he can sell off, but it's getting very close to just do or die for Unleashed. He actually drops down another Hand of Nod. So this is his last stand. And he's got not good eco, but he's got all right eco behind this.
Yeah. He's got no Cabals here either, which means his infantry aren't going to be as effective as they could be. There's the Buzzer Swarm, epic Buzzer Swarm right down the flank.
Oh, and the Black Hand. Those Black Disciples doing basically nothing in that battle. A veteran and an elite Buzzer now out on the field. Unleashed taps out.
Oh man, I think Unleashed, that was his game to win, and then. I mean, Leaf, he played great, he did what he needed to do, but Unleashed a little bit better decision-making, and he had Leaf in the position that he needed him in, and unfortunately not making the decisions, I think, to win that game. That was definitely Unleashed for the taking, so it's unfortunate that he did drop that one.
Wow, I'm actually surprised MasterLeaf was ahead economically, albeit not by very much, but I expected Unleashed to be definitely climbing ahead, if not a huge amount, at least a little.
Yeah, but you got to remember his Harvester defense at the start was great, but then he started losing some Harvesters unnecessarily in those Jacin attacks, and he just didn't replace them. So, yeah, that was unfortunate. Economy cost him a little bit. He was a little bit wasteful once he got to Leaf space as well with that base defense or that base head he was trying to set up. I think he expended a few too many units on those photon cannons, and again, Leaf wore him down from there. Another Disintegrator run by, got another 2 Harvesters, so. It all adds up at the end, so Unleashed, unfortunately, does go down. 77,000 to Leaf, 70,000 to Unleashed, so it's still pretty close.